my name's Lily Burrows. Today I'm speaking to Dina Dwyer-Owens of the Dwyer Group. Hi Dina, how are you today?
Hi Lily, I'm terrific.
Great. Why do you think that franchising as a business model is so successful?
The reason that franchising as a business model is so successful is because it's all about systems. You know, if you start a business from scratch, you have to try to figure the systems out yourself, and that takes a long time and it's very costly. In franchising, it's been proven. You know, the systems have been put in place, they've worked, and so now you're basically just responsible for putting them into place in your own business. And those franchisees that get that I've got to implement these systems, that's how it's going to work, and they do it right away, will be very successful.
What are the challenges for a person starting a franchise at the moment?
Well, financing, I guess, would be the first thing to come to mind. And, you know, at the IFA, we're working hard to get credit freed up so that more people can get into their own businesses. And franchising is the right way to go than starting something from scratch. So that's the #1 challenge that I would say.
Do you assist your applicants with funding?
At the Dwyer Group, we do provide financing for qualified prospective franchisees up to 70% of the franchise fee. And many other franchisors will also provide financing. And if they don't do it in-house, they usually will have relationships with lenders.
What are some of the benefits of the IFA?
You know, I grew up in the IFA. My father had me attending IFA conventions when I was in my teens. So I didn't know what I was doing there, you know, in the early days, but I look back and I'm so appreciative of the fact that he introduced me to franchising in the IFA at such an early age. And the value of membership has really shown itself to me. In particular, when my father died in '94 of a sudden heart attack at the age of 60, we had a huge void in our company because he was the driver, the entrepreneur, the visionary of our company, and he wasn't there anymore. So I called on the IFA and franchisor members of the IFA to seek out help and advice, and nobody turned me down. Everybody reached out and was there to support me in ways that I could have never dreamed. So that alone is a huge benefit that I've experienced, but I think that, you know, the biggest benefit is if you're involved and you're active in attending the programs, you're always going to learn, from the educational sessions to the networking, and you're going to make lifelong friends in this association, and that's just part of what we get to benefit from. There's a whole government relations piece as well, and the IFA taught me about how it's important for us to be a voice for franchising as a whole, not just for franchisors, but for franchisors, franchisees, and our suppliers, that we need to speak out and protect the interest of franchising. So that's a huge benefit that I've experienced that, again, I would have never been introduced to if it weren't for the IFA. At the IFA, we have what's called our annual Public Affairs Conference, or what we used to call Franchise Appreciation Day, where we actually go to Capitol Hill and we march together as franchisors and franchisees and suppliers, and we talk to our representatives about those things that are important to franchising. Those things that we want them to fight against, and those things that we want them to fight for. So we want to be the voice of franchising on Capitol Hill, and so that's another great value that we get from the IFA.
What's your perception of the franchise industry at the moment?
My perception of the franchise industry is that it's the real economic stimulus plan. We're creating jobs, we're creating businesses, and if you look at the record from 2001 to 2005, we did a study, a PricewaterhouseCoopers study, that showed that franchising had 140,000 new businesses in that time frame. This is after 9/11, and created 1.2 million jobs, more than any other private sector business. So franchising really is about stimulating our economy, and so we've got to work with Congress to free up the credit market so that we can get more people into business by themselves.
As the incoming chairwoman for the IFA, where do you see franchising for 2009?
Yeah, I think it's going to be positive at the end of the year. You know, right now there are certainly some of our members that are struggling, but they have an optimistic outlook, and I think IFA is going to do some incredible things in providing them member value to help them get through this challenging time. But I really believe it's going to end up being a pretty good year for us.
Dina, thanks very much for your time.
Thank you for having me.
If you'd like more information on franchising, please visit www.franchisedirect.com.